And now, please welcome to the stage 2018 Fellow Whitney Alda Chamuso.
Did you intentionally do that to the scarf? Did you intentionally fit it in there?
Huh? Yeah. Put it in your pocket. No. I'll just put it. Yeah, I'll just put it.
Yes, yo, you can hear me now. Good afternoon, fellows. When they say we're 700, you can't believe it until you're standing here and looking at 700 African beautiful leaders. Congratulations to all of you for making it here. Can I get a hand of applause for all of you? As announced, my name is Whitney Alda Chamuso. I am from the Republic of Mozambique. And by heart, I am from the University of Austin, Texas. I am so honored to be standing here today. When I got the call from IRIX, I really thought I was in trouble. And maybe it was just one of those calls where they're like, what did you do? But instead, they gave me a very good news, and it was to introduce a very important person that is here with us today by the name of Ramsey Day. Mr. Ramsey is the Deputy Assistant Administrator for the African Bureau for the USAID. I was very happy to get to meet him backstage for a moment and to know that he's been through around Africa and that he has a lot of knowledge about Africa. So when he does come out here today, he will not be speaking from a perspective of one side of the grass, but from both sides of the grass. Just to give you some background on Mr. Ramsey before he comes out, Mr. Ramsey has held numerous positions within the international development and foreign policy communities in both the United States and overseas. He also worked in several national domestic campaigns representing the White House for both the president and vice president in delegations over 20 countries. Prior to joining the USAID in January 2008, Mr. Day was the Senior Director for the Center of Global Impact at the International Republican Institute, leading the Institute's project design, strategic planning, and monitoring. Please help me by giving a warm African welcome to Ramsey Day.
Thank you very much. It's so nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. What a pleasure and an honor it is to be here to celebrate all of the extraordinary young leaders in this room. About almost 20 years ago, I think it was, I took a backpacking trip around the world, and for about an entire year, and about 8 months of that I spent in Africa. And it was truly a life-changing experience. I traveled to about 15 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, and believe me, it was on a shoestring budget. And the incredible young people I met, many of whom I'm still call friends to this day, literally changed the trajectory of my life and of my career. The friends I made in Namibia, Botswana, it's a small but mighty contingency. Angola, a loud and mighty contingency. Lesotho, Zambia, Mozambique, Malawi, of course my beloved Zimbabwe, and many, many others. I can't list them all. We'll be here all day. but many of these experiences really shaped the tremendous optimism that I have for the people of this great continent. And now, almost 20 years later, and a lot of gray hairs later, Africa is a very different place, having advanced in many ways. But whenever I meet YALI participants and alumni, I'm always quickly reminded that the talent, the passion, and the spirit of the young Africans that inspired me all those years ago is still very much alive and well in all of you. It's been such a privilege to meet and speak with many of you, which is truly my favorite part of this job. You are today's generation of African leaders. You are an inspiration to many of us, but more importantly, you're a role model in your community, and you will soon be role models to the next generation of leaders. People like Peter Awongo. Where is Peter? From South Sudan. I don't see him, but I know you're out there, Peter. A country I visited just a few weeks ago, which is facing, of course, tremendous challenges. But Peter was at Rutgers University as part of the summer business and entrepreneurship track. Peter founded his own logistics and shipping company, which, in addition to providing high-quality services to his customers, works with the diplomatic community to ensure that aid supplies reach war-torn areas. Having grown up in a refugee camp, Peter knows how critical this support can be and the impact businesses can have when they serve the broader community. And Peter and others give me hope for the future, hope that we have the right minds thinking about the solutions to complex challenges facing the African continent. Hope that we can lift lives and build communities, even in areas suffering unimaginable pain. Hope that together we can end the need for foreign aid to even exist, because after all, this should be our ultimate goal. Prosperous, resilient countries that craft their own bright futures. Under the leadership of Administrator Green, we at USAID are fundamentally changing the way we think and talk and conduct our work. And we refer to this new approach as the journey to self-reliance. And through it, we are reshaping our programs to walk alongside our partner countries as they build their own capacity to plan, finance, and implement their own development solutions to a brighter future. And we've put a lot of thinking into what self-reliance means, how it can be measured. And there's no doubt it's a complicated issue, but we're guided by several principles. First, that self-reliance is a continuum, and that countries will fall at different places along this continuum, depending on their specific circumstances or their unique needs. But we believe that taking this approach will enable us to be better partners and result in better development outcomes. The second principle is that we cannot be successful without investing in people. And I think everyone in this room would agree with that statement. Self-reliant societies depend on committed, capable people. And you and everyone in this room exemplify both commitment and capability. You were chosen for the Mandela Washington Fellowship because you are already leaders in your community. Many of you have dedicated your lives to tackling complex issues, sometimes without much support. To take on leadership roles at the national, regional, and local levels, where good leadership forms a foundation for strong and inclusive societies. You tackle critical issues in creative ways by building capacity of your governments to serve your people responsibly, and also the capacity of your people to hold those governments accountable. Samuel Johnson from Liberia. Where is Samuel? He's over here? Oh, there he is. Thank you. Samuel was part of the public management track at Syracuse University this summer, and he's passionate about improving service delivery because he knows this will help ensure Liberia's long-term stability in his role as the acting director and capacity building officer in the Liberian Ministry of Health. Samuel works to make the ministry more efficient in its operations, improving health access in rural areas. Fifame Banumi from Benin. Where is Fifame? Is she back there? Fifame was part of the business and entrepreneurship track at the University of Notre Dame. Go Irish. Fifame aspires to build a Pan-African media platform that helps every young African realize their dreams and change the world. And considering she created a media platform with a digital community of 20,000 people when she was just 18 years old, I have no doubt she can accomplish this and any other goal she sets. Although undoubtedly exceptional individuals, Peter, Samuel, and Fifame are not alone in their capabilities and their determination. They are just several of many Yali alumni who make a difference at home and beyond. One of Yali's greatest successes has been the bringing together an extraordinary group of young leaders who dream big and desire to make a positive impact on the world. When thousands of talented young people like you support one another, your impact grows, and it grows exponentially. And this gives everyone hope, both here and in Africa. USAID is committed to supporting you over the next year and your continued professional growth, and to helping you build out a strong network you can tap into when you need guidance, advice, or simply a friend. And believe me, you will. You will need all of those things. On Monday, you heard during the Next Steps panel about some of the professional development and networking opportunities that you'll have access to once you are home. Opportunities such as mentorships, professional practicums, collaboration grants, and communities of practice. I encourage you to take advantage of these valuable opportunities. They'll help you continue to build your skills and expand your personal and professional networks. In fact, there are a number of alumni here of the Mandela Washington Fellowship here with us this week. I know each of them would be happy to talk to you about how they've built upon their experiences since they were in the U.S. Some of these fellows have served on the MWF regional advisory boards. Some have paid it their own way here to be here today. But all are passionate believers in Yali and have worked hard to keep the momentum of the network going. And we can't thank them enough for the work that they've done and the contribution they've made. Let's please take a moment to thank them. In the coming months, IREX will lead you through the process of electing regional advisory boards. These will be a critical link between you and USAID going forward. I encourage you to consider running to represent your countries and your regions. For our part, in addition to supporting the Mandela Washington Fellowship, USAID is working with Yali Regional Leadership Centers in Accra, Dakar, Nairobi, and Pretoria to ensure that Yali is well established across the African continent. We want thousands of young Africans to be able to connect with the training and support they seek to lift their efforts to lead positive change. And we want them to be able to draw on African experiences and African case studies, because there's so much to learn from those facing similar challenges and opportunities in Africa. We hope that you will join us by teaming up with the regional leadership centers once you return home. You can make powerful contributions by serving as mentors, sharing your experiences, and helping us recruit strong leaders from within your communities. I also encourage you to team up with your RLC alumni and the Yali Network members on future projects and endeavors. Believe me, they are as hungry for change and progress as you are. And I'm confident that you'll be much more impactful by working together as a single network. With more than 11,000 program alumni and over 500,000 who are part of the Yali Network, the resources, knowledge, and expertise you hold between you is immense. But you have to tap into it and help to grow it for your collective benefit. The people you've met here and those who you will continue to meet as Yali alumni can support you in a variety of different ways. They can be sources of inspiration and knowledge and can connect you with others with expertise and resources as well. And when it comes to resources, I'm excited to share with you today a significant upcoming opportunity. This fall, USAID will launch a program to match resources with innovative and evidence-based ideas from all around the world, including Africa. So we'll have more on that, so stay tuned. In the meantime, if you haven't explored it already, innovators like you have found more than $1 billion of development money through an online platform called the Global Innovation Exchange. If you have an idea that can change the world or that already is changing the world, make sure your work is highlighted on the Global Innovation Exchange. You can view all the funding opportunities on their website. And as we wrap up the conference and you prepare to go home, remember that this is not the end of your journey as a Mandela Washington Fellow. Your journey now continues as part of this large and vibrant group, and we hope that you will continue to be a part of this network. As Nelson Mandela once said, no single person can liberate a country. You can only liberate a country if you act as a collective. And when I look around the room, I'm inspired by your collective potential. You were chosen because you were exceptional leaders. But remember, you don't have to be a boss of a big company or a high-ranking official in a government to be a leader. People lead in different ways and at different levels. You and all those around you can be leaders in your community, your organization, your business, your government, your family, anywhere. Take the lessons you've learned from Yali back with you to your communities and inspire leadership in others. Encourage them to become part of the Yali network or even apply to be a participant in the program. Grow Africa's network of leaders who are passionate about making their communities better. This is how you'll continue to transform Africa, and this is how we will all change the world. I hope you found your time here to be inspiring and that you leave here with new friendships. And we hope that these friendships lay the foundation for your future aspirations. Thank you for all of your enthusiasm. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your contributions over the last few days. And it's because of you that this summit has been a success. Thank you very much.
His day is done, is done. The news came on the wings of a wind reluctant to carry its burden. Nelson Mandela's day is done. The news expected and still unwelcome reached us in the United States, and suddenly our world became somber. Our skies were leadened. His day is done. We see you, South African people, standing speechless at the slamming of that final door through which no traveler returns. Our spirits reach out to you, Bantu, Zulu, Xhosa, Boer. We think of you and your son of Africa, your father, your one more wonder of the world. We send our souls to you as you reflect upon your David, armed with a mere stone, facing down the mighty Goliath. Your man of strength, Gideon, emerging triumphant, although born into the brutal embrace of apartheid, scarred by the savage atmosphere of racism, unjustly imprisoned in the bloody maws of South African dungeons. Would the man survive? Could the man survive? His answer strengthened men and women around the world. In the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, on the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, in Chicago's Loop, in New Orleans' Mardi Gras, in New York City's Times Square. We watched as the hope of Africa sprang through the prison's doors, his stupendous heart intact, his gargantuan will hale and hearty. He had not been crippled by brutes, nor was his passion for the rights of human beings diminished by 27 years of imprisonment. Even here in America, we felt the cool, refreshing breeze of freedom when Nelson Mandela took the seat of presidency in his country, where formerly he was not even allowed to vote. We were enlarged by tears of pride as we saw Nelson Mandela's former prison guards invited courteously by him to watch from the front rows his inauguration. We saw him accept the World's Award in Norway with the grace and gratitude of the Solon in ancient Roman courts and the confidence of African chiefs from ancient royal stools. No sun outlasts its sunset, but will rise again and bring the dawn. Yes, Mandela's day is done, yet we, his inheritors, will open the gates wider for reconciliation, and we will respond generously to the cries of blacks and whites, Asian, Hispanics, the poor who live piteously on the floor of our planet. He has offered us understanding. We will not withhold forgiveness, even from those who do not ask. Nelson Mandela's day is done. We confess it in tearful voices, yet we lift our own to say thank you. Thank you, our Gideon. Thank you, our David, our great courageous man. We will not forget you. We will not dishonor you. We will remember and be glad that you lived among us, that you taught us, and that you loved us all.
And now, please welcome to the stage Mandela Washington Fellowship alumni to share their Mandela Legacy Pledge, featuring Bilo, a 2015 fellow from Zambia. Tonto, a 2017 fellow from Ghana. Josephine, a 2017 fellow from Rwanda. Halawi, a 2014 fellow from Ethiopia. Nice, a 2016 fellow from Kenya. Moyo, a 2017 fellow from Botswana. And Ruzio, a 2017 fellow from Zimbabwe.
100 years ago, a great man was born, a visionary and a leader among leaders, a champion of education and a freedom fighter for his nation and continent, a world-renowned human rights activist. His name is Nelson Mandela. And today, we are aspiring to leave the Mandela legacy. My Mandela legacy is to inspire my generation and the next generation of artists to use their art to empower women and girls by amplifying their voices. Because just like Mandela taught us, freedom cannot be achieved unless the women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. I choose to make music that uplifts women and refuse to make songs that objectify them because I care about the dignity, integrity, and welfare of my mother, sister, aunt, niece, daughter, and that of every woman in and outside this room.
As of 2017, 43% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa had access to electricity. We have come a long way, but there's still 57% to go, and that is what inspires my pledge as an engineer. My Mandela legacy is to contribute towards an energy system that's affordable, sustainable, and reliable. An energy system that not only contributes to the economy, but one that also lights up the world of that kid in the village. There are so many people out there who do not hold distinctive positions, but whose contributions to the development of our society have been enormous. So, who says we need positions or appointments before we act? Just do it.
In Rwanda today, women representation in parliament is 64%. Other African countries can achieve this too. There, in closed halls, where decisions affecting us all are made, women representation is not enough. Yet their contribution to development is a known fact, but often ignored. My Mandela legacy is to apply my gender analysis experience as an economist to mentor young women one at a time. Build a cadre of community change champions our Africa needs to make meaningful decisions.
And my Mandela legacy is to continue his work in my generation. Because what good is my success if it does not build on the success of the great men and women that have come before me anyway? And so I will uphold his values of integrity and perseverance, freedom and justice, peace and reconciliation. As an architect and public servant, I will strive to embody his ideals in my workplace daily. I will also give back to my community, my continent, and our world. Someone once said, success is not success until it's successive. And so I will also commit to passing on Madiba's legacy to the next generation.
People say education is the most powerful tool to change the world. I see it every day. In Africa, practices like female genital mutilation hamper over 200 million every year for girls not to be women of their dreams. And I was about to be one of them. I escaped female circumcision at the age of 8 years. And after fights with my family, I decided to speak out and fight for the rights of other girls and women. By working with communities, not only have we been able to give them education, we've also been able to save over 16,000 girls who are now women without a cut. My Mandela legacy is to bring female genital mutilation to an end by 2030 in Africa through structured community dialogue. And I will not sleep till every girl has a safe haven in our beautiful African continent.
Home, Africa. Some have dubbed it the next emerging market. With a population of over 1 billion people, African entrepreneurs should leverage on this market. Sub-Saharan Africa is currently the region with the highest rate of early-stage entrepreneurship activities in the world. A significant number of those entrepreneurs are female. 8.4%, the rate of discontinuance of female-led businesses in Africa annually, the highest the world over. Female entrepreneurs continue to launch and sustain their businesses in the midst of obstacles in Africa, some of which are legal. My Mandela legacy is to use my expertise as an international trade law attorney to assist female entrepreneurs in Africa to leverage on the international trade law arrangements that exist in order to access not just the African market, but the international market too.
Young African leaders, these are our stories. We need to own our stories. We need to share our stories, ensure that our voices are heard. When stories are not documented, when stories are not shared, we risk losing ownership of the African narrative. Fools multiply when wise men are silent. So do negative stories when positive stories are kept at bay. It is your and my mandate to ensure that the stories are shared. Why should they be shared? So that the next generation can build on the successes of this generation. So that the next generation can learn from the challenges of this generation. Having been in the media industry for 15 years, my Mandela legacy is to ensure that African stories are shared worldwide by creating a platform through a Pan-African television show that celebrates African ingenuity and entrepreneurship and successes and all the amazing things we are doing, big and small. In the very words of the great man we are celebrating today, the man whose legacy we seek to live by. In the very words of Nelson Mandela, you can start changing our world daily, no matter how small the action. You have heard our pledges. What will your Mandela legacy be?
And now a special message from Marie Royce, Assistant Secretary for State Educational and Cultural Affairs.
Good afternoon. I'm Marie Royce, Assistant Secretary of State for Educational and Cultural Affairs. I send my best wishes and congratulations to the 2018 Mandela Washington Fellows. I wish I could be with you in person. To our U.S. partners gathered with the Fellows, thank you for everything you do to make this program a success. Your institutions represent the excellence and diversity of U.S. higher education. To the Fellows, I know from my work throughout the continent that all of you are examples of an Africa that is filled with promise, opportunity, and expertise. I encourage each of you to apply the new knowledge, broader networks, and expanded skills you learn on your exchange, along with your passion to creating an empowered and bright future for the nations of Africa and for U.S.-Africa relations. I know that many of you have already accepted this challenge by pledging to honor Nelson Mandela's legacy through your work, as well as on social media. Follow me on Twitter to see my Mandela pledge, and I can't wait to see your ideas. Congratulations again to everyone who is celebrating this wonderful occasion, and I wish each of you the greatest success for the future.
Fellows, please remind your colleagues they can apply for the 2019 Mandela Washington Fellowship applications. Will be open in mid-September. This concludes the 2018 Mandela Washington Fellowship Summit. Fellow certificate distribution will now begin. Please proceed to the Ambassador Ballroom, and remember, the Fellow Talent Night and Cultural Celebration will begin at 7:30 right here in the Regency Ballroom. Thank you.